First question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead, Jorge.
Hey, Clayton, how are you?
Good.
Just wondering how was today and the last couple of days? How have they gone for you? How weird has this been? If weird at all?
Yeah, I mean it's an adjustment, for sure. But I think it's something that we understand the responsibility of, and the guys that are here, we want to get this going and we want to do this, so we're going to do what we can and take that responsibility. And it's been fun. I mean, it's been fun to see the guys. It's been fun to get back to Dodger Stadium. I missed it, missed being here, and missed being with the few guys that I did see in my group. So it's been good.
Next question from Jim Hill. Go ahead, Jim.
Clayton, how are you, man? Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good.
Good. Clayton, we all know how socially conscious you are because of all the things you do charity-wise for our communities. But you wrote an article in the LA Times a couple of weeks ago by which you said you went to a lot of your teammates and I'm paraphrasing now, you kind of intimated that you were pointing the finger at yourself. Why would you point the finger at yourself when you've done so much for this community?
Well, I think it's just accepting the responsibility of things that you can change, as a white guy. I think a lot of the things that have come to light in the past few weeks and months has been, enlightening to me, honestly. And, being naive to some of the things that have gone on with our black community and things like that. And I just needed to, I think it was important for me to take accountability for the things that I can do and take action for it. And, I've made some statements, I've done some, some things in the media, and now it's time to work on the action part of that. And that's what, myself and the Dodgers and our teammates were working on to try to figure out the best way to bring some of those words to action. And thankful that we can be here in LA and try to do that.
Clayton, thank you so much. You're helping everybody to keep the faith. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Next question is from Tim Brown. Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, Clayton. We have seen a handful of guys opt out of this, and I'm curious what that process was like for you. And did you travel here with your family? Did you bring everybody, or are you sort of soloing it?
Yeah, my family's here. And the process was just, I think there's a trust factor there with Major League Baseball, Players Union, my teammates. Everybody here has to take accountability for being as safe as possible. And I have trust in that. I have trust that we're all doing everything that we possibly can to do this and play baseball. And at the end of the day, I wanted to play, and that's one of the biggest driving factors with as far as feeling safe too. Because if we're allowed to be here, if MLB and the Players Union agreed to let us be here to try and do this, get this off the ground, then I feel like we can give it a shot. And now to say the guys that do opt out, I understand that. I get that decision, and I support that with whatever, everybody's going to have to make individual decisions, and we're going to support that as a team with whatever happens with our guys.
Any part of this unnerve you at all, the experience so far?
Yeah, I think so. I think, coming from different parts of the country, myself coming from Texas, I think it wasn't, you definitely had to wear masks in stores and stuff, but you didn't have to wear it just everywhere outside. So when I land and see people just walking their dogs with masks, it was a little unnerving, for sure. But, getting used to the norm and, trying to figure it out as I go.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thanks.
The easy part might be following the rules at the ballpark. How much of a message do you think team leaders need to send about following the rules when you're not here and keeping everybody safe and minimizing the risk?
Yeah, I mean it's on the players to some extent too when we leave the field. I think everybody knows that though. I don't know how much different guys have to harp on that, just because if you want to see this season through, if you want to play this season, if you want to give it its best shot, you can't be stupid. And some guys are still going to get it, and they're going to be as safe as possible. So all to say, like, it's just not worth the risk. And it's easier for me to say, obviously. I've got a wife and 3 kids. I can just go to home and go to the ballpark and feel great about it. But it's going to be harder for guys that are single or guys that, living in apartments or things like that. And I understand that, but if you want to get things off the ground, if you want to play, that's as good of incentive as any to do the right thing.
Obviously, the motivation for taking this risk is to play and try and win a championship. Do you feel that the 60-game season and the circumstances diminish a championship this year in any way?
It's a good question. I thought about it a little bit. I think sitting on the outside and just listening about 60-game season and how different that is, and how this season with no fans and all this stuff is going to look different, and it's really true. It's not going to be like anything else we've done, but at the same time, we're all going through it on an exactly level playing field, and we're all going through the exact same postseason. And so whoever does win after this, it's going to be different. It's going to be a different champion, and you're going to still be a champion. But to say there's an asterisk on it or things like that, I don't think is fair. So I think there needs to be a whole different category for what this season is. But at the end of the day, I think if you win this season, it's going to feel pretty good no matter what.
Last one, just the practicality of the baseball part of it. Dave said you threw 3 innings last week, I assume, to a college team. Where do you feel you are? Does this feel like the first week in March or the last week of spring training? Where do you think you are? Yeah, I mean,
I feel pretty good, honestly. I threw 3 innings back home, and then July 1st, my first day here, after I got tested, I threw actually 4 innings here, and I'm going to throw 5 innings on Monday. And, I basically have 3 starts to get ready for the season, and I'll be built up, probably to 100 pitches by then. So to put it in perspective, I'm probably towards the middle of March as far as where I should be. And I feel good with it, honestly, I do.
Next question's from Maria. Go ahead, Maria.
Hey, Clayton. Thanks for doing this today. During the off time, the downtime, what was the toughest part for you to kind of get through mentally?
Yeah, before even answering that, we're so fortunate to be able to have, a situation where we didn't have to be worried about things like where our next meal is coming from and things like that. Because I know a lot of people are losing jobs out there. So to say what we were struggling with, I think is all relative. But, I think the hardest thing for me probably was just not having a date, to come back and continuing to try and work out and throw without really knowing, when or if we were going to get to come back. So I think that was the hardest part, is just motivating myself to continue to do things and work out and throw. And but thankfully I stuck to it well enough to where I feel like I'm in a good spot now.
Lastly, what did it feel like to walk back through the stadium today? I mean, I know you were excited to see your teammates, but what was that feeling like?
Yeah, I love it. I miss this place. I love being here. Dodger Stadium is very special to me, and if this 3 months taught me anything, is that I really miss the game. I love baseball. I miss playing. I miss pitching. I miss the guys, and so yeah, it's a great feeling to come back today for sure.
Thanks, Clayton.
A question from Claudia. Go ahead, Claudia.
There. Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, Clayton. Thank you so much again. So, pitchers especially need a routine to be at their best. Has this strange season made it difficult for you and the other pitchers or any players that you know of?
Yeah, I think the routine aspect of it has been hard for everybody. Baseball players are creatures of habit by nature, and it's been really good, I think, accountability for everybody across the league to stay up, wherever they were and try to be ready for the season. And it was a good test, I think, for everybody to try and be as ready as possible for the year. So it definitely was a little bit difficult, without, the resources of being here at Dodger Stadium or even in Arizona at our spring training site for me. But I got enough done at home to where I feel like I'm in a good spot for the season.
Thank you.
We got a question from Clint. Go ahead, Clint.
Hey, how's it going, Clayton? Just kind of curious, obviously, as we came into the end of spring training there, you were, or not the end, the beginning, you were named opening day starter. Any update? Have you heard anything about where you're slotting into the rotation? Is that staying the same?
No, I mean I'm kind of assuming I'm going under that preface, but I have no idea. The schedule's not really even out yet, so I think it's probably hard to know that for sure.
I have a question from Margaret. Go ahead, Margaret.
Konnichiwa, Clayton.
Hi.
We just spoke with Kenta by Zoom. And if there's a World Series, LA Dodgers against Minnesota Twins, he said that he wants to face you and Walker.
Well, there's a DH, so it doesn't matter. Kenta can rake, though. He can really hit. So, I'm going to miss Kenta. He's been around a long time and became good friends. I really enjoyed having him as a teammate. And, I wish him the best until that World Series, for sure.
Well, he wants to hit. He said that. He's going to miss hitting.
Well, he's going to have to wait till next year then.
Ooh. Thank you.
And I have one final question from Jorge. Go ahead, Jorge.
Clayton, so apparently you guys are allowed here only certain times throughout the day. Like, when were you allowed here today, and when do you have to leave?
We have different sections and different groupings. So I was in the early section, and I think I should probably leave now. So I got to stop talking. No, I don't know. I don't know when. I think there's just certain times. There's only a certain amount of people that can be in certain areas. So you have to kind of limit yourself to different areas at your different time slots. So we're all figuring it out, man. I don't know. It's the first day, but we're all figuring it out as we go.
How's the piped in noise sounded? Have you been here for that?
I saw. Yeah, I was in the bullpen when JT was doing that. When JT was hitting the other day, and it sounded good to me. I think it's better than silence. If those are our two options, I think it's better than silence. So,
was that going to be a huge adjustment for you think?
Yeah, probably for everybody, for sure.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mike.